So, um, crazy intro. Find it on YouTube. 30 seconds countdown or 30 seconds timer. So today, basically, what I want to share with you guys is how to lose weight in a very systematic way that is basically foolproof. So you can't actually go wrong with it. It's very systematic. As long as as long as you follow step by steps what I did, you're gonna be able to reach your goal. So before we go any further, I will first show an example of what I mean by foolproof. And all right. So this is my Excel, which will be one of the tools that you will use. It's very simple. I mean, once you break down the plan, once you break down how you're gonna, uh, break down everything that you need to do to get to that weight loss objective target, it's very easy. And all you need is basically a Excel spreadsheet, which is what I have, and a few sites online that you will actually customize to your own um, physical uh, personalization. So basically, this is the my weight tracker in 2023 on the right side, and on the left side is my current weight tracker for summer 2025. So in summer 2023, before I go into more details on how I achieve that, I think people will love to see that it actually works. So I started at 180 pounds and I stopped at 151.7 or 152-ish. And all this was done in a matter of 6 March to May. Uh, so that's like March, April, May. So it was like 2 months and a half. So like 2 months and a half, dropped down 30 pounds. And you can see with the graph that it forms a very linear curve. So as in, we're not going to like plateaus that are too long, except for maybe this. We're not going in a oscillating pattern or like a seesaw pattern where it goes up and down, goes up and down, goes up and down, like it becomes very irregular. From the chart, there's no doubt that this is a linear progression, which means that every week you're losing a almost like a specific amount of like weight that is almost like the same amount every week. Of course, you're gonna have a few, you're gonna have some weeks that's gonna be like a bit off. You're gonna spike a little bit here and there. This is mainly due to weight loss, not weight loss, water loss and water like retention. And um, there's another like physiological like things that happen, which is the your body when you start to lose weight at a very like consistent pace, your body will kind of like realize that it's losing weight, is shedding off fat, and it will try to act against it so that it retains this fat because it got so like with time it got so used to like function with this extra layers of fat, that when it starts to notice that, like, there's really some big changes going on, it will actually like fight against it so that it retains it, so it retains your energy, because fat is obviously like, you know it can be like it stores as energy. So I know most of you guys who are watching this video or who will watch this video have seen, uh, you know, they're probably not to their first videos of how to lose weight, how to lose fat, how to burn fat, and all that. Most of you guys will probably know, it's a sort of like calories in, calories out. So how much you intake, how much you bring in, and how much you're able to burn throughout the day. This is basic, knowledge when it comes to, um, basically, uh, it's a common knowledge when you're actually looking into like how to lose weight. So we're not going to go through that. We're not going to make like a huge videos on explaining like what happens and all that, because at the end of the day, there are tons of videos who show this. There are a ton of video who will explain it in way more detail, and a better you know a better produced video. And I don't have I'm not into like editing videos and all that. I just shoot straight raw content and I upload it, and get to the point, right? And so 2023, we went from 180 pounds to 151, 52 in in 2 months and a half ish. So not even 3 months actually. So not even 3 months, probably like, guess 2 months and a half is like 10 weeks ish. So it is very possible. And like a lot of people will take, a year to lose, like 6 months to a year to lose 30 pounds. I was able to do it in 10 weeks, so 2 months and a half. Of course, with time, from 2023 to 2024, life happened. Didn't stick to, got back to the old routine, got back to like, you know, I wouldn't say eating unhealthy, but eating more than I should, just because, I got so used to eating whatever I want, whenever I want, and not really caring about like the not really caring about the effects, right? Like you just did a minus 30 pounds in 2 months. You're like, I can afford to eat whatever I want for at least a year, right? And that's basically what I did. So, 2025, I started back in May, beginning of May, and I was at 168. And now, this is the from yesterday, so August 1st. I was at 168 and I dropped down to 153. So minus 15 pounds in about, this is a 3 months. So this is 12 weeks. And the reason why this is 15, sorry, and the reason why this is 15 pounds over 12 weeks rather than 30 pounds over 10 weeks is basically because I realized that a lot of, because I've been watching a lot of these weight loss transformation journey, and the number one thing that I realize that happens like very often is people actually get into this mode, this like focus on losing weight or burning fast as possible, which is obviously, which is the goal, but what I wouldn't say as fast as possible is the goal, but like, burning that extra fat, melting that extra fat, is obviously like a very good objective. However, the one thing that I see people doing like very, very often, and you can see it in your own feeds, in your own like YouTube video, is that people start this journey and they really go all in. And what I mean is that they lose a lot, they burn a lot of fat very, very quickly. Some people lose, like 100 pounds in 1 year, or like, you know, very, very quick. And what happened is that uh, most of the time, like 80% of the videos that I've seen where people are going full mode, 100% into this journey, is that they burn this fat so quick that the body, specifically your skin, doesn't have time to adapt to the change, and they're left with loose skin. And loose skin is very difficult to um, uh, I don't want to say reestablish because that's not the right word, but uh, loose skin is very difficult to get rid of or remetabolize itself. I'm not sure if that's even a word, but um, so if I take an example on YouTube here and I do like 100 pounds weight loss, okay, um, you will see first video
This is Simon at
right here.
355 pounds, and he's on a mission to.
So see right here, you can see the loose skin is starting to form. Uh, and this is very difficult to get rid of. Like once you lose that, the elasticity, once you lose the your skin's elasticity, or like the ability to like tighten itself, is very difficult to get rid of. And it's just something that you really want to avoid, you know uh, especially that for most people, um, you can see here as well.
72-hour odor protection with only 9 ingredients isn't a myth.
Oh my god, after this Walmart commercial.
How did I get from this to...
Alright, so you can see right here on the very first seconds.
How did I get from this?
Boom. So you can see right here this loose skin, very visible, and this usually happens when you have, when you have a big guy, like when you're physically large and you go into this weight loss journey and you go full on mode and you just don't give yourself um, the body uh, to adapt itself. Another example.
What up, squad? Welcome back to the channel. So look, I lost about 70 pounds during
There you go. So you can see big guy, and you can see the loose skin starting to form up.
the first 6 months of my journey.
Let's fast forward a little bit and see if there is,
And in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly over the past, because I'm going to teach you.
Let's see. So here, right here. So 12 week simple transformation. So obviously very big guy, and you can see that loose skin, just uh, I would say like just that that's loose skin that's hanging on, and obviously it's very hard to get rid of. So this is this is not uncommon. It's really what really happens to most of the people who are on this uh, journey, and it's just what happens. So on my second, so basically we're going to go back to here, and so basically on my second, phase, I purposely limited the weight loss to about 1 pound to 1.5 pound a week. Um, so that's why we see this. That's why we see this again, this linear curve, but it's a lot less. It's a lot less. Like the rate of weight loss is much less pronounced. So, and this is basically to prevent loose skin, and obviously could do it twice. Could have done it, twice as intense, but like I said, when you start to have loose skin, um, that means your skin has lost the like ability to like the elasticity's ability to like retighten it, and it's very difficult to get it back to normal. Like it's very, very difficult. So that's one of the thing that I purposely pay attention this time. Uh, because it's not like I have 100 pounds to lose, like by the next day. I could lose, I could lose like 30 pounds in a year, in 2 years, and it would still be the same. It's more of trying to get in better shape. So, anyways, enough rambling on. So I'll show you guys how you are able to achieve this linear curve every single time. Okay, it's very easy. All you need is discipline and getting your numbers right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go into this website. Okay. Ba, 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 ba. We're going to go on this website here. Let me pull it up. I'm going to do this. Okay. So basically, what you need to do is to see first where do you stand um, in your by comparison, right? Uh, where do you stand in your fitness or body weight or ideal weight, right? So I'm sorry if this is not a as construct, it's not a constructed presentation. I basically said start record and yeah, make it happen. So where do you stand? Where do you stand? Where do you stand? Okay, so you could try to go maybe ideal weight. I'm not sure if ideal weight is really the best, or maybe BMI. I think BMI. Okay, BMI. I like BMI better. It's I think it stands for body mass index. You also have ideal weight. They're pretty much the same. We're not going to go into technical details because in the end, it doesn't really matter. So you can do, I count in pounds. So let's say you're 30 years old, you're a male, you're, I don't know, 5'8", and I started at like, 180 pounds. Okay. So this is going to calculate the result. So what this tells you is that your BMI, whatever, is at 27.4. Okay. So it clearly shows that you're overweight. So what you wanted to do is to be in that normal, and ideally you want to be like just right in the middle. So if you look at right in the middle, you see that this is 18.5 and this is 25. So that's about 26.5 difference. So 6.5 difference. So we're looking at 6.5 difference. So 3.25 difference. So if you go at 25 minus 3.25, you should probably be at 2175. Or we can just do 18.5 plus 25 divided by 2 divided by 2, 2175. So we're right in the middle. Exactly. So if you're at 180, we know that to be, right in the perfect zone, you should have a BMI of 2175. So 2175 means that you should probably, I don't know, let's say 160. What does that give you? 24.8. Okay, so let's go 55, 23. Let's go 45, 21, 22. So we're pretty much there. Could go 33, 2175. So roughly around 145 pounds, right? So around around 45 pounds. So that means we're just gonna pull up our Excel spreadsheet here, and we are going to start everything from scratch. Okay. So let's say our metrics will be 30 years old and you're weighing 180 pounds. Okay. Uh, uh, well, we're gonna do 20 years old, male. We're gonna put 5'10". Just gonna put 5'10" here, and you weigh 180 pounds. Okay. So, let's gonna go back to here. So let's go change this to 5'10" just to make sure. So 20, 21.5. Let's go back to 155. 21.2. Let's go 150. 21.5. What's that? 152. 21.8. So ballpark, ballpark 150 pounds. So let's go back to our Excel here. So initial weight, that's that. Gonna put it a bit better here. And target weight. I'm not even sure if weight is GHT. All right. And target weight here, we're gonna say it's 150, right? So that's 155. We're going to screenshot this just because. I'm gonna put it there. Perfect. Next. And next you can go the ideal weight. So see here we're at 150, right? So if we go the same thing here, we go 30 years, male, 5'10". What's going to say? It will say that the ideal weight based on the formula is 156, 155, 160, 165. Healthy BMI 128.9. So you see that here they say it's around like 150, 155. So 150 or 155, basically the same thing to me. At 150, you're right in the middle, and at 155, you're just a little bit off in the middle. But clearly from all the other formulas, 155, even 157 would be good because you got like 156, 155. Oh, my bad. So if you go 155, we're just a little bit over the middle. And 150, you're right, like you're right in the money. You can go 155 if you want to. It doesn't really matter. Ideal weight, if you look at ideal weight, 156, 155, 160, 165. So, you could do an average of this and that will give you like 150, 158 probably. So let's try 156, 155, 160, 165. So 156, 155, what is it? 160, 160 plus 165, boom. Divide this by 4. What's the average? 159. So you could probably stick with 155. Okay, doesn't really matter. 150, 155, it's the same thing. So now the next thing you want to do, so we're gonna set our target to just real quick 155 here instead of 150, just for the sake of it. So next thing you want to do here is I think it's BMI. No. That's BMR. Okay, so BMR. So basal metabolic rate. So basically this calculates how much calories like you actually need per day to like maintain a healthy, so that your body can function properly. And this is where you start doing this calorie deficit where you basically uh, eat less calories in a day in order to like lose weight. So if you're so again we're going to go age 30, male, 5'10", and we're at 180. We said we were starting at 180 pounds. So that no, that's not the right one. Could it be this one? Calorie calculator. All right, this one. Sorry. So 20. So we're going to change that 30. Dun, dun, 180. And let's say you don't exercise, okay? So that's what I base myself on, because if you don't exercise, you're basically maintaining the same, you're basically maintaining the same rate, so you're not gonna gain weight or lose weight, so this should be your reference. The BMR is what your body needs to function properly, ideally, and sedentary, little or no exercise, is your current rate, so that you don't win or lose weight, gain or lose weight. So, maintain weight, it goes at 2100 calories. Okay, so we're going to go back to our Excel spreadsheet. We're just going to take this as a going to take this, our example here. We're going to put this in our spreadsheet here. Perfect. Get this a little bit smaller because all right. So what you have right now is that to maintain your weight. So in order to still be at 180, tomorrow and, a week or a month from now, you're going to need 2100 calories every day, and you're not going to gain or lose weight. So if you want to lose weight, there comes the calorie deficit, and it's widely known. I wouldn't say widely known, but the general consensus is that 1 pound of fat equals to 3,500 calories, right? So if you want to lose 1 pound minus 1 pound of fat per week, that's equal to 305 calories divided by 7, which magically is 500 calories. Well, we should probably say minus 500 calories because, always keep the measurement, the sign of the equation correct, right? So basically, probably because it wants to be a text. There's no problem with this formula, is because it sees this as a formula, but it's actually a text. I wanted motherfucker. Okay, let's go and put it straight to text. Okay. So minus 1 pound of fat per week equals to minus 350 calories divided by 7, because there's 7 days a week, which will be equal to minus 500 calories. So based on this, in order to lose 1 pound of fat per week, you need to adapt your diet, which is basically what you eat, to go at this minus 500. So daily intake would be minus, we're going to put this calories and calories here. Da, 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 da. Okay. So if you're able to cut down 500 calories every day, you will lose 1 pound a week ish. That's the general consensus. Of course, the body doesn't respond exactly, to these numbers. So you might go at minus zero point 0.7 pounds, minus zero point 0.8. So it's never actually equal to exactly 1 pound. So now what you need to do, because uh, some people will want to go a bit higher than losing 1 pound a week. Some people want to go at minus 1.5, even 2 pounds. And some people go even like higher than 2 pounds a week. So I don't recommend it. And for the same reason, and even on this website here, it says please consult with a doctor when losing 2 pounds or more per week. Since since that it requires that you consume less than recommended minus 1.5. I personally wouldn't go at 2 pounds a week, minus 2 pounds a week, uh, simply because my number one concern, my main concern is loose skin. So, like I said before in the beginning, it is very possible to lose 2, 3, 4, 5 pounds a week. After that, it's gonna become like very more intense because 5 pounds a week, 20 pounds a month. That's a lot of work. But the issue is that um, when you go into a drastic change, like I said, the body doesn't have time to adapt to it, and your skin doesn't have time to adapt its elasticity, and that's how you end up with loose skin. So, you know, it clearly says here, please consult with doctor when losing 2 pounds or more per week. So I recommend like 1.5 pounds, minus 1.5, just to be on the safe side. Again, I'm not a medical practitioner. I'm not a doctor, not anything like that. I'm just your average Joe. I have no medical knowledge or training or whatsoever. It's just a bunch of stuff that I see on the internet. And it's like what would suck is that you achieve your weight goal, but you end up with a permanent layer of like loose skin that's just flapping onto your body. So instead of having that beach body, or that body you know that you're proud to look at yourself in the mirror, you now have a body with extra layers of skin that's just hanging on to your belly, and it's just like flapping on. It's not pretty. And if you take it just a little bit slower, if you take it down a notch, you can lose 100 pounds and not have this issue. You just need to regulate it, tone it down, and go to like 1.5, I think. So anyways, so once you've done this, okay, so now you know that you need to eat 1600 calories a week. That will get you to minus 1 pound. But the body itself, the body itself will not actually lose a pound, by the book, like straight by the book, because you decide to, you have 500 calories deficit. The body will actually like adapt itself. It will slow down its metabolism, and in real life, you will more end up around minus 0.6 or 0.7 pounds because the body fights back. Like the body doesn't want to lose this extra fat because it stores it as energy because you had this fat for so long so that it triggers it, and it puts it into this like retainment mode where it will fight the most as it can to not burn this fat. So you need to add some exercise to it. And you can do walking, or you can do gym equipment. You can go to a gym or anything like that. So now you have uh, walking and gym. So if you want to do walking, okay, if you want to do walking, there's another website that you can use. And this is a website where you count how many steps equates to how much calories that you're burning. Okay. So if you looked online, there's this consensus of like you gotta do 10,000 steps a day, and if you ideally try to not do it into like a one step where you have to walk like for an hour, for like an hour or so to do that 1,000, usually 10,000 step. You can easily do 6,000 steps a day if you go to work. So, like if you go to work in the morning and then you come back, you go for lunch and all that. While, you take some breaks during the day to get some water, hydrate yourself and all that. You can usually do like 6,000 steps a day easily. So, we're going to go back here. So this is the website. You convert steps to calories. So pounds, we were at 180. Height, we were at 5'10". And number of steps, just to make it simple, we're going to do at 5,000, and then you can adjust. Average speed, speed average. That's nice. Okay, cool. So now you know that when you weigh 180 pounds and you're 5'10", if you do 5,000 steps a day, you actually you would actually burn around 230 calories. Okay. So I was gonna put that down. When I get that screenshot here, just as reference. I'm going to put this as reference here. Perfect. So if you do 5,000 steps, 5,000 steps, we're looking at minus 230 calories. Okay. And then, so if you do So if you do, so then after that, uh, let's say you want to do some gym equipment, okay, which is what I personally recommend doing the steps and gym equipment. And my favorite equipment for gym is the elliptical bike. So elliptical bike or elliptical bike machine, same thing, is these things. Okay. And this is, in my opinion, I'm just gonna oh, hold on. I'm just gonna remove the. Just gonna try to remove the dark theme, make it normal. Off. Confirm. All right. So, all right. So, in my opinion, the best cardio machine and workout machine is the elliptical bike. If I had, I did a bunch of research on this because there's a lot of like different exercise or equipment that you can buy. And there's the stationary bike, there's the rowing equipment, uh, there's so many like gym equipment that you can buy. But I personally went with the elliptical bike because it gives you the upper upper body workout and the lower body workout. So you're training the whole body at the same time instead of the stationary bike. Uh, if I go to stationary bike, where you're only working the lower part of your body, you're still gonna burn calories, right? But if you're gonna do some, yeah, but like for me, the way I see it is like if I'm gonna do some exercise, I rather be as efficient as I can be, and you know, why would I work out only half of the body, 50% of my body when I can do 100% with this? So there's different machines to do the elliptical bike. You have the classic elliptical bike like this. Uh, oh, up. Yeah, okay. So you have the whatever. So you have the classic elliptical bike like this, you know, or you have the which is what I have, the air bike. So which is what I have. I don't have this model. I have this. I have the. I have the Assault air bike. So it's a so we got the Assault air bike, which is used in CrossFit, but essentially you can use it for anything. This bike is particular. It's a particular bike for CrossFit because it's called an air bike but it's mainly because the more you the more you pedal, the faster you pedal, the more resistance you have because of the way it's made. So it's got the air resistance, and you're basically spending way more energy than the elliptical the standard elliptical bike. I'm probably going to do another video on this because this could be this could be a good like 15-minute video on why I chose this equipment over all the other equipment. Um, I'm sorry if you hear some banging. One of the neighbors is, I don't know what they're doing. They're doing some kind of like gardening or, I don't know, light renovation outside. So I just picked the perfect moment to do this recording. And anyway, so I'll probably make another video on why this, but eventually, the not eventually, but it really doesn't really like it doesn't really matter which for the purpose of losing weight, it doesn't really matter which type of equipment you have. What matters is how much energy you're putting in your workout to lose weight. So the next step is to look at your how much energy are you actually burning throughout your workout. Okay. And all these machines, they have a dashboard, right? They have a mini computer that will tell you how much calories you're burning. Okay. No matter which machine that you're picking, if it's been built in the last like 10 years, there's a mini computer, there's a mini counter that will tell you how many calories you're burning. However, these counters are inaccurate because the calories that it says that you're burning is not the actual calories that you are burning. It's the calories that it takes the machine to like operate at whatever level you're using, but it's not the level of calories that your body is burning. So it's a concept that people mistake. Um, it's just not the same thing. Okay. So if your calorie counter says you've burned 200 calories, it's not your body that you've burned 200 calories. This is the amount of energy that it took for the machine so far. Okay, so it's very different. So what you need to do is uh, to get a accurate measure of how much energy you're actually burning in your workout, in order to have a consistent workout, is your BPM or beats per minute. Okay, so I'm going to show a video. Okay, so basically, how much your heart beats a minute. This calculates how much energy that you're burning. So there's a video on YouTube here.
Increases to 4.7 calories.
Boom. So this one. Okay. And we're just going to put it here so that we're going to.
And as we get to 100.
All right. So we're not going to go through the 22-minute video because, he talks about the same thing. But what you need to do is, let me fast forward it. Man, I really pick my day, huh? Have the neighbor go outside and like start to do some renovation. Neighbor's been quiet for weeks, months, and the day that I decided to record, he said, you know what, why not hammer some stuff outside, just to. So I'm just trying to find the right spot. Okay. Oh,
Sometimes a man must overcompensate
freaking.
for his freshness. Old Spice.
Pampers Cruisers 360 has a stretchy waistband with up to 100% leak-proof fit.
20 beats per minute, and at the maximum will be at 140 beats per minute, and that is explained by the science burning per recent maths can still up to hard beats per minute be at a formal you guys and for so 38 from fat in front of us. What we can deduce 8.4 carbs highest carbs 7 calories, and as we get to 120.3 the total calories that 8 calorie gets as highest minute with all the calories per minute. So 127 beats. As we increase, it gets as high as
All right. So
5 per minute
oh my god.
when it comes to 127 beats. As we increase, it gets as high as.
All right. So now we need to know the optimal amount of the optimal amount of work, the activity, the level of activity that you have to do in order to burn fat. And basically, the beats per minute, you can do, basically what you need to do is to stick around the 130 beats per minute. So we got 127 here, and we got 138. So just to make it easy, 130 beats per minute. And the reason why is because what you want to do is burn fat and not the carb, because the carb is your energy, right? And you're already low, like you're already on a calorie deficit. So okay, so you're already on a calorie deficit, so you don't want to like use, so you don't want to go like too intense in your cardio workout so that you actually burn the energy that is left versus instead of the fat. And you can see from the chart here that the more intense the heart rate is, sorry, the higher carbs that you are actually burning instead of the fat, right? So, and you can see it here. You can easily see that the higher the heart rate, the higher the carbs that you will burn. So the higher energy that is stored in your body that you will burn. And you will see that at one point you will actually burn less fat than as you increase your heart rate, which is not good, right? Because you want to burn the fat and not the energy that you have because you're already in a calorie deficit. So, um, so the optimal range, as you can see, is between 127 and 138. So to make it simple, try to go at 130. Try to go between 130, like 130-ish, and statistically wise, you can see it here. Statistically wise, 130 beats per minute is the optimal range. And the way to do this is go buy yourself a smartwatch like I have here. Okay, it costs about $30-$40 on Amazon. Try to find one that has a lot of reviews, right? And all these little like smartwatch, they have a counter where it will count your steps during the day, and they'll have a timer, and they'll also count your BPM, so your beats per minute. So when you count your beats per minute, you know exactly. Um, I'll show you how you're actually how you can exactly know how much you're burning. So now that we know that the ideal BPM, beats per minute, in order to lose fat and not burn energy is 130, what you need to do after that is convert it. Same thing. We're going to convert these BPM to calories. So we can go here. Now that's another website that I use. And this is calculate the calories burned by heart rate. So what you need to do is gender male, age, we said 30. We're gonna do here weight, we said 180, and a heart BPM 130, and duration, let's say 30 minutes. So you burn 353. So you burn 353 calories if you do 100 beats per minute, 130 beats per minute for 30 minutes. So you burn 350 calories. Okay. And we're going to add this, add this. I'm trying to wrap this thing up because it's already been an hour and I didn't think it would take an hour, to be honest. But more. I got into more details on things here and there. So now you know that if you do 30 minutes of cardio, so 30 minutes cardio for 130 BPM, that's minus 350 calories. Okay. So now you basically know, like, without doing exercise like weightlifting or anything like that, you can easily reach your target, your weight target, just simply by doing calorie deficit, walking, making sure that you walk whatever amount that you need to do, and do that cardio for 30 minutes or however long you need to do. But make sure that you stay at 130 beats per minute, because that's where it's the optimal range of burning fat versus burning carbs, which is the energy. So in the end, yes, you're gonna lose weight if you're going like higher heart rate, but because it's calories in, calories out. But I rather target the fat and really make sure that I'm not burning the energy that I need to in order to like go through the day. So without exercising, you can just, other than cardio, you can just establish how much you need in exercise, and play accordingly throughout your week, and include Yeah, no, like include two rest days, every 3 days, like every 3 days or on the fourth day you have a rest day. So you do like, Monday, like Monday you make sure that you got your steps and cardio. Uh, Tuesday, same. We're gonna do this, do this. Steps, cardio, steps, cardio, steps, cardio. We're gonna do rest, rest, and step cardio, and then the next Monday will be rest, so etc. etc. So if you follow this and you go through a specific plan, um, and you really make sure that you know, that you convert how many steps you take during the day, and you really take the time to stick at 130 BPM, and you count how many minutes you do. You have these converter that you can use, and at the end of the week, if you follow this step by step and you set a goal on how many calories you want to burn, which will equate to how many pounds you're gonna burn at the end of the week. If you stick to it, so diet, so if you do your diet, if you count your steps, if you do cardio, and you really stick to it like by the book, that's how you end up with graphs like this. You basically cannot go wrong. Like this is the second time that I'm doing it. First time, clearly straight linear curve. Why? Because I followed the exact same thing. And this year, I'm not as intense. I'm not going as intense because this year, I was more focused on making sure I didn't end up with loose skin. So in 3 months lost like 16 pounds, 15, 16 pounds versus 2 years ago I lost 30 pounds in less than 3 months. But it's the exact same like formula or recipe that I use. So you can see here, this is a quick glimpse. So, it's like maintain weight. This is what I needed. Calories in. So you know, minus 500 calories here. I know for a fact that if I do 25 minutes of assault bike, so elliptical bike, is 325 calories that I'm losing. Um, if I do a 30-minute walk, 30-minute walk, you can convert it back to steps, how many steps and all that, right? Because I showed you how many steps equals to, oh yeah, my bad. The reason why is because, okay, so steps, calories, my bad. It here at the bottom here, it shows that if you're 180 pound, 5'10", you do 5,000 steps. It will give you, it's approximately 45 minutes. It'll take approximately 45 minutes. Um, So yeah, so it'll take about 45 minutes ish, right? So sometimes you might forget your watch, you might forget, I don't know, you might forget to basically your watch or whatever device counts your steps. But if you just do the same routine and you walk for 30 minutes, you know how much you're burning every time. Another tip that I can give you when it comes to this is uh, football field. So football field, right? Football field track. All right. So if you live near a park or a stadium facility, I highly recommend that you do your walking there every day, except for the rest days. And the reason is very simple, is because you will count the steps that it takes you to go from, from your house to that stadium, and then you're gonna do whatever, like how many loops you have to do. Usually, this is a 500-meter um, track, usually, and you just count how many loops you have to do, and you add this with how many steps it takes you to get back. And whether it's 6,000 steps you need to do during the day or 10,000 steps you need to do during the day, uh, it will basically always be the same thing, right? If it takes 2,000 steps to go there, 2,000 steps to go back, you're already at 4,000 steps. You don't need the wristwatch, right? You don't need the wristwatch to count the steps. Like you've already done it two, three times, and every time the watch says it takes about 2,000 steps. At least that's the case for me because I have a stadium that's close, that's nearby, and I know that if I walk there, it's like I don't know, 15-minute walk. I know it's 2,000 steps, and then you do whatever amount of loops that you need to do. In my case, you know, in in my case, a 500-meter like loop like this equates to 600 steps. So I know that for each loop that I do, I know it's roughly 600 or 650 steps. So I don't even need the watch to count my steps. I still bring it just to just for the sake of it, because at the end, like there's you can sync into your phone and it gives you like your daily, weekly, and monthly like steps that you do. So, but once you've used a wristwatch, like once you use the watch for a few times and you know exactly like how many steps it takes to get there, how many steps it takes to do one loop. After that, you don't really need it. You just really use it to, I don't know, sync it to your phone and have like a graph of your effort during the week. And yeah, that's basically this. So you can convert the, so we did the diet, how many, what you need to do, how many calorie deficit you need to do. We did the workout with the equipment, stick to 130 beats per minute, and then calculate. Uh, so 130 beats per minute. Uh, 100 beats per minute, calculate how many calories you're burning. We did the steps, how many steps you need to do to burn X amount of calories, how much time it'll take approximately. And that's basically it. Once you have your plan in place, you can do how much calorie deficit you're losing in uh, in a day, whether this is when you're working out or when you're not working out, right? So the rest days. So, and then, sorry, the neighbor is making some noise here. And then, yeah, how many calories you're burning per week. So if you look at this formula right here, so 5 days of exercise, this plus 2 days of rest days, this is so equates to this. How many pounds you're losing per week, and yeah, that's basically it. And once you do this, uh, and you actually follow it like by the book, you get that discipline and you follow it by the book, you'll end up with a straight linear curve that like you cannot miss. Another thing that you can probably do, obviously, get an Excel, track your days, track your weight. You could track your calories. Some days I don't. Some days I, like you see here. Some days I don't even track my weight because I know that it's working, and I don't need to be obsessed about my weight. I just know it's working and I let it run. So see, I have plenty of days that I just forget to weight myself. I have plenty of days that I forget to weight myself. Uh, I forget to even count the calories that I eat because I've also, in the diet, I've made a diet that I know exactly how much I'm eating. So I'm always eating the same thing, right? I'm always eating the same thing every day. Uh, and if I do variations, I still count the calories so that at the end of the day, I'm at whatever amount I'm fixing. The minimum that I do is 1200 calories a day. And I do the one meal a day, to be honest. So I usually eat around 9 p.m. And I've been doing this like it's like my second year that I've been doing this, and as long as you make a diet where you really count the calories, like you really take into the account that like the calories that you're gonna eat, they're really, and you're not eyeballing it or taking a guess. You actually read the nutritional info like on the back or whatever, like of the product produce that you eat. You can't go wrong. I also track. I've started to track the training session on my bike. So as you can see here, it's always 130 beats per minute. So on the bike, when I do my bike, I know exactly at which speed I need to bike so that I stay at 130 beats per minute. So I know that if I go faster than my regular speed, I'm bumping that 130 to 140 or 145. and now I'm burning the energy that I need. So when you go on a machine, on your specific machine, it's very important that for the first few times, like the first week or so, you um, you actually know what is the maximum level that you can push so that you don't go over 130. And the reason why I like the bike so much is because you can set a speed that you want to go to, and you just pedal at the same speed over and over and over again, and you know your heart rate is not gonna go any higher. Um, so I mean, I guess you can do this with other equipment, but me myself, see, I have it right here behind me. It's in my bedroom. Uh, I use it, you know, when I watch Netflix or anything like that, when I watch a show on YouTube or whatever, set it, a bike for 30 minutes. I know exactly at which speed I need to bike so that I don't go above 130 beats per minute. I know how much time I'm doing this, and then I know how many calories I'm burning, right? 100 beats per minute, 130 beats per minute, 30 minutes. I know I burn 350. So, um, and sorry, there's like some noise outside, so I'm trying to. I really chose like the best day to do this recording. Oh man, it was quiet for like weeks. So so yeah, like I even I even eat, I eat burgers, I eat fries, I eat chicken nuggets, I eat barbecue sauce. Like I'm not like at the end of the day, as long as you calculate your diet, you can eat whatever you want. Like you can actually eat like what you want. You just need to take into account. So, anyways, uh, next video. So this sums up how to, really lose weight, a systematic approach where you really can't go wrong. So this is the proof. I've shown you step by steps. Count your diet. Um, Steps converted to how many steps, how many calories. Convert your exercise level based on your BPM, beats per minute, and how long you're doing it. And in the next videos, I'll probably do a video on why I chose the air bike, why I chose the assault air bike, and might make another video on diet. So how to make a very good diet that you can stick to it, and that is not too complicated, not too fancy, that you can make every day. It takes like less than 10 minutes. It's not expensive. I'm like you guys, you know, I'm just a regular guy, regular Joe. Uh, just spend a lot of time like watching a bunch of videos on YouTube, trying to get the science done and all that, and break it down into a systematic approach. So that will be for the next video. I apologize for the video that is now 100, not 100, and now we're in 25 minutes, taking way longer than I expected. I thought it would take like 30 minutes, but yeah, so that's the way. So hope you enjoy. Leave comments. Let me know what you like, what I should improve on, and I don't know. I don't know why I'm. So yeah, um, you know, clearly, clearly it works. It's a foolproof method. It's very systematic. You honestly cannot go wrong. If you go wrong or if it doesn't work, it's because you're lying to yourself. And that's really the only excuse of why it's not working. Like if it's not working because, you know, your body, you know, doesn't work the same or anything like that, you know, try to not bullshit yourself. You know, your body works just like any other body. Whether you have a fast metabolism or a slow metabolism is the same. It's a system. It's how many calories you're bringing in, how many calories you're burning. It's same for everybody. Uh, so yeah. So hope you enjoy. Let me know. Let me know what you think in the comment. Let me know what things I should improve in the further videos. What you would like to see, and hope you enjoy. See you next time.